Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining me on this morning for Quick Word Tuesday. If you can just take just a moment and share the video, I will greatly appreciate it. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining me. I am Pastor Deidre Samuel McLeod. I am the pastor of Divine Destiny Ministries, where we have service right now at the Hampton Inn, 203 East Carolina in Hartsville. We welcome all of you to join us. On this morning, I just want to share a quick word with you about walking in peace, about walking in peace and walking in freedom. That I want us to all understand that all of us have gone through something. All of us had to endure something. All of us have our own tests, our own testimonies that we have to share. But I want to free somebody on this morning to walk in peace, Don't allow what you have been through, don't allow what you have gone through to think that has control over you. On yesterday, I had an awesome privilege of just sharing somebody about my journey in life. All of us have a story. All of us have had a journey. And I was just sharing with them about my journey in life, of some things that I had to endure, some things that I had to go through. And everything that I went through wasn't all God ordained. That in other words, he didn't set up everything that I went through. Some stuff was self-inflicted. That some things that we go through, we take our own selves through. And I can honestly say there are some things that I went through that God didn't necessarily intend it for me to go through it. But because I wouldn't listen, at other people's testimony, because I wouldn't listen at other people's story and learn from them, I ended up going through the same stuff, if not worse stuff than what they already went through, because I didn't listen. But I want to free somebody on this morning, and I want you to understand that if what you have gone through, that you're still ashamed of, that you're still walking with your head down, the enemy will take that, because the enemy enjoys secrets. Whatever you are allowing yourself to live in a place of secrecy, and that you don't want to share with nobody, the enemy will take that and he will blackmail you with it, and he will use it to keep you in bondage. He will use it to always hang over your head to remind you of what you used to do or how you once was, and he will beat you down with it because he would think that he's holding something on you. I want you to free yourself from it. And I'm telling you right now that know that you cannot share your story with everybody. You can't tell everybody about everything that you have gone through. You can't tell everybody about everything that you did, everything that you said. It's not everybody's business. But I want you to understand that there are some people that are waiting to hear your story. Some people are waiting to be delivered, to know that if he can bring Wanda out of it, if he can bring Bianca, and he can bring LaShawn out of it, if he can bring Deidre Samuel out of it, McLeod, I know that God is able to bring me out of it. I don't have to walk around with my head hung down. You just don't know. You're looking for, what am I on this earth to do? What is it that God has ordained for me to do? You're sitting on your testimony. You're sitting on your breakthrough. God could be using what you've been through to be a conference for somebody else. He can be using what you have been through for to write a book, to have women's empowerment, to have a men empowerment. He could be using you to be a blessing to somebody else. But because you're walking around in shame, because you're allowing that place to be a place of pain, you're only hurting your own self. I'm telling you right now, it wasn't because that I was so good, that I was so special, that all of a sudden I came up with the thought of having Daughters of Zion. No, I've been through enough stuff in my life that God ordained Daughters of Zion for me to speak to somebody else, to let them know that I've been through what you've been through. I've cried of the tears that you've cried. I suffered at the hand of somebody else, and I had to go through and suffer through some stuff. Yes, I did. I went through places of low self-esteem. I went through struggles. I went through pain. Yes, I did. We all been through it, but we all don't share it. We all don't talk about it. We all act like after we get in the church or after we get to a certain place in our life, we don't want to tell somebody else about what we did. We don't want to tell somebody else about how God brought us over. And that's why so many people are walking around now in pain, because they're looking at you thinking that you got it all together because your hair done, because you dress nice, because you live in fancy houses, because you now shout in church, because now you moved on and now you got a nice job and all that stuff, and you got a nice family, and they don't know that skeletons that's in your closet, because you're trying to hide instead of trying to share, because you're walking in a place of shame, you're walking in a place of pain. But I'm telling you right now that God has allowed all of us to go through something. Yes, he has. But how many are using our testimonies, that we are using our stories, we're using the stuff that we have gone through to help somebody else? How many of us are walking forth in our gifts and our callings and saying, you know what, God, now I understand what you're really calling me to do, what you really pushing me forward to do. I want you to know. Because see, the old people, yes, the old people, they live in a standard that and they're held to that don't tell, don't talk about it. And yes, and it's not about just having sins, because some stuff that has happened to us that it was done to us, not necessarily that we sinned. And people now thinking because you was molested, because you was raped, because you was put up for adoption, because you had an abortion, because you went you been to prison and different things, and you won't share. You won't share what has gone to you. And some stuff happened to you wasn't your fault. It wasn't your fault. And I'm telling you, I want to free somebody this morning, because yes, I walked in a place of shame. I walked in a place with my head hung down, thinking because what somebody else said and did to me that it was my own fault, and it was not. And now I'm in a place now that I can look back over my life and share with somebody else that you don't have to stay in the place that you're in, that God has come for us to now be free. I want you to be free on this morning. I want you to be free on this morning, because that we're living in a world now. We're living in a world now that people are walking around angry. They're walking around hurt. They're suffering because of what was said to them, because they was mishandled. And even after they try to get it right, sometimes they go to the church, and because the church ain't free, because the church ain't walking in freedom, and because the church is making people think that you can't talk about what you've been through. The church is making people think that if you come in here and shout a while, and that if you come in here and roll across the floor, that you don't have to deal with it no more. And people are going home and they're shooting up, they're getting drunk, they're having illicit sex, and they're doing all kind of stuff because they're trying to hide from the pain that they're walking in, and they trying to wander around and trying to figure out how that they give the church answer. They give the church answer that I'm free. They give the church answer that it no longer bothers me. They give the church answer, and they're walking around and they're broken. I want to help you on this morning. You're not what they said to you. You're not what they done to you. You're not it. You're not dumb. You're not ugly. You're not less than. You're not. I want you to walk in a place of freedom. I want you to be healed. I want you to be healed. That a lot of us, we say and we do stuff. We 30, 40, 50, 60 years old. And some people are older and they're mean. They're mean because they hurt. They're mean and they don't know how to deal with it. And so they teaching the next generation and saying that you know what, don't talk about it. Don't discuss it with nobody. Just go on. It'll be all right. Stay with them, honey. Long as they're paying the bills, stay with them. They teaching you and they teaching this. And I want you to understand that you don't have to deal with that. That you can stand up on your own 2 feet. That God has equipped you and called you. You're stronger than that. You're stronger than your past. You are more anointed than that. God has given you a prayer life. He's giving you a praise. He's giving you a testimony. And I'm telling you right now, you'll be amazed at the people that's waiting on you to come forth, to share what you have been through, share what you have gone through, and let them know that you can win, that you can come out of this. What's so sad is that we're leading people and we're bleeding ourselves. We're leading people and we're bleeding all over them because we have not healed ourselves. And I'm telling you, it's time out for that. That I want you to know that you can walk in a place of freedom. God has placed a mandate over my life. And I'm telling you, I'm going forward in it. That he's been dealing with me about helping people to walk in their gifts, to walk in their callings, to walk in a place of freedom. And I'm telling you that I know that it's nobody but God, because stuff that he's been downloading to me, stuff that he's been giving to me, that it's only been from him. And I've been doing it. And the freedom, the place of freedom that people have been able to walk in has been literally blowing my mind, But I'm telling you, when you share what God has given you, and I'm not talking about just following something because somebody else said it, just following something because somebody else told you to do it. When you start walking in the true purpose of God, you'll be amazed at the doors. You'll be amazed at the doors that'll be open for you. You're so right, Brother Chad. That's my brother, y'all. Been my brother for a long time. If you share it, no one can hold it over your head. And you're right. And that's what the enemy has been doing to us. He's been holding us. He's been blackmailing us in the spirit. He's been blackmailing us, making us feel less than. He's been making us feel not worthy. He's been making us feel like we are not called. And I'm telling y'all, free yourself. Free yourself. Break the chain that's been holding you bound. Break the chain. Break the chain of the enemy. I'm telling you, the worst thing that you can do to a blackmailer is tell it. Because when you tell it, they can't control you no more. And they get angry because they know that you have now taken away their power. Take away the enemy power, and you start sharing and telling your story. And I'm not saying that you can share it with everybody, because the Bible said don't give what's good to the dogs and don't cast your pearls before swine. That everybody is not in it because they love you, and they're not in it because they want to hear you and that they support you so good. Some people right now, and I wrote it earlier, they're not congratulating you because you wrote the book. They're not congratulating you because you started the ministry. They're not congratulating you because you finally found your purpose. They're looking in awe and trying to figure out, how in the world did you survive? You survived what they thought that you should have died in. God is calling us. God is calling us to a place. Don't quit. Right here. Free yourself from a place of hurt, shame. Stop walking around bitter. Stop walking around angry. Free yourself. Break the chain. Take it back from them. Take your power back from them. They have no authority over you. Free yourself. Free yourself. When I started sharing my story, when I started telling the truth, the more I talked about it, the less I stopped crying. The more I talked about it, the more fear I got. The more I talked about it, It made people that thought that they were sharing something about me, about who I used to be and the things that I used to do. I freed myself from them to let them know that you can't control me no more. That I can tell my story better than you can. You only telling about the stuff that you heard. You only telling about the stuff that you think that you know. I lived it. And because I lived it, I can tell it better than you. There's a place of freedom. Who the Son has set free is free indeed. Stop walking in shame. Stop walking in fear. Walk in a place of freedom. Yeah, people love transparency. People want to see how you made it. Yes, I enjoy about hearing about John and I enjoy about hearing about David and Goliath and how God worked in their lives and how God turned Saul to Paul. I enjoy that. But some people want to hear the story of Thelma. Some people want to hear the story of Miss Barbara, of Minister Albertine, of Pastor Deidre Samuel McLeod. Because see, I wasn't always pastor. I wasn't always elder. I wasn't always walking in the church. And even now, I still mess up. But now I'm in a place now that I can turn around and say, God, I repent. I'm sorry. God, forgive me. God, I didn't heal from that. God, heal me from that. God, help me to walk in a place now from that. Somebody want to hear your story. Somebody want to hear from you. They want to know how you made it. Yeah, I know about Abraham. Yeah, I know about all of them. But can I see a walking, living testimony? Can I see it in you? And now that I see it in you, I know now that I can live. Speak life into somebody. You don't have to be shamed anymore. Share your story. You'd be amazed that somebody's now on life support spiritually. Don't know where their next breath is going to come from. And when you open your mouth and share what you have gone through, share your abuse, share how you overcame drugs, how you overcame stealing, how you overcame adulterous acts, how you came out of bondage of homosexuality and lesbianism, how you came out of being prejudiced, how you came out of it, how you came out of poverty, how you came out. You'd be amazed at somebody that's waiting to hear your story. And when you tell it, how life now begins to happen in them. It's time out for being ashamed. Because while you're walking around shame with your mouth closed, the enemy is winning. But I want to put a devil on the run today and let them know you do not have authority over me any longer. I'm living my best life by me going forward. And now I'm straightening the crowns on somebody else's head and letting them know that you are a queen. You are a king. There's purpose on the inside of you. Don't ever allow the devil to make you think that you don't, that you're not good enough, that you're not equipped. Because you are. You are. It saddens my heart to see people hurt and see people broken. It saddens me. It saddens me. That's why this is my heart. This is my heart to see everybody free. I pray that this Quick Word Tuesday have been a blessing to you. Remember, if you're still ashamed, you have not healed. When you've healed, truly healed, you can talk about your testimony and it no longer brings tears to your eyes of pain and shame. It may now bring tears of joy to let you know that I survived. If you're a survivor, raise your hand. If you're a survivor, share your story. If you're a survivor, let somebody else know. I'm breathing life now in you, sis. I'm breathing life now in you, my brother. Because you don't have to stay in the place that you're in. The potter wants to put you back together again. I pray that you have an awesome and wonderful Tuesday. This is Quick Word Tuesday. Join us tonight at 6 p.m. for intercessory prayer and for Bible study. We will be doing it live. I'm in agreement with you, Sister McKnight. I'm in agreement with you, Evangelist Morton. I'm in agreement with you, Sisters Moan. I'm in agreement with you. We're survivors. The thing that the enemy meant to do, he meant it for evil, but God meant it for our good. I still hear you preaching, Sister Bianca. Yes, I still hear you preaching. Yes, Sister Wanda. Join us tonight. Join us tonight live, or you can join us at the Hampton Inn tonight in the Coca Room. We're starting prayer at 6 p.m. prompt, and we're going forth in the Word of God because I'm no longer a product of my past. I'm now a testimony for my future. Have an awesome and wonderful day. Share this video with somebody and let them know